This is James Lupton, delighted to be joined with Ricky Funez. Ricky, how are you?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you, James?
Very good, thank you. Firstly, congratulations. Fantastic victory out in Saudi Arabia with Hamzah Sheeraz. Let's just start there. Just talk to me a little bit about that whole occasion.
I was, man, what an event that Turkish is doing, man. What a setup. What a treatment they do in Saudi, man.
Obviously, an unbelievable performance from Hamzah. Probably for me, performance of the night out of all the five versus five. Just how pleased were you with Hamzah's performance?
I was very pleased because we were able to adapt what I would told him to do. Um, yeah, it was great performance. He got buckled and stunned like 3, 4 times, and he took it like a champ. When you step up to that level, you're gonna get hit. There's no doubts about that. You're gonna get hit, and he took it like a champ and was able to adjust and correct those little mistakes during the fight.
You mentioned that he was able to adjust. Were you pleased with his reaction? Because sometimes a fighter doesn't know what to do. They may panic. It's flight or fight mode, essentially, I suppose, in that situation. And you can't really, I suppose, train for that too much in the gym. Were you very pleased with how he did deal with the situations he was in?
Yes, because during it's gonna be almost 4 years I've been working with Hamza. So during those years, I have implanted in his head, that, hey, if you ever get hurt, or in a situation like that, make sure you grab. Don't have that ego where you think you're gonna be able to just play it off and no, I'll go hold. If you feel like you got buckle or hurt, just be smart and grab. Hold on until you feel like you recouped and move on it. And he kept his poker face on the whole fight. When he got hurt, he got buckle, you know. So he came back to the corner and he tells me, "Hey, I can't believe I got caught." I go, "Hey, that's welcome to the big leagues. You're gonna get hit." So he took it very well. He learned how to adapt. He learned how to control himself and not get panicked. He was surprised thinking that I was gonna panic myself in the corner, but I've been around the best trainers and worked around the best fighters in the world, and you learn how to manage. I knew Hamza was going to be able to recoup. He wasn't that hurt where I'm able to come back to the corner and say, "Hey, you got to do this." I keep it very simple with Hamza, very very simple, and keep it basic in the fight, and that's what won that fight. I believe kept it simple, calm corner, and kept it simple and basic.
You mentioned that you've been working with Hamza for 4 years. What is Hamza like as a student, and how has he progressed in those 4 years?
I'll tell you, he's a extraordinary, intelligent fighter, and as a person as well. He's very well spoken. He's a stud. He's a good looking kid. Um, he likes to learn, and he's a perfectionist. So what we've been doing it over and over, and we just keep repeating the same game plan all the fights. And, you make a little adjustments, well, depending who we're fighting, but you keep it the same over and over.
Let's go on to yourself, Ricky. Let's start from the beginning a little bit. Talk to me about how you got into boxing.
Okay, so yeah, I was 13, 14 years old, and I was in the streets, trying to be a gang member, and I was walking by this gym, which I didn't know it was a gym because it was very private, and from the outside mirror. So growing up in you have a moniker, you wanna go and tag scribe with a scriber or marker or spray can, and I did it in this big old glass. I didn't pay no mind to it because the following week, 2 weeks later, I think I was walking by and this big tall white boy comes out and he goes, "Hey, are you the one that he called Daffy?" And I go, "What? Wait a minute, what's going on?" Uh, I go, "No." I go, "No." He goes, "Yeah, someone inside the gym says this is you." Oh, I didn't know it was a boxing gym. So, it was Joe Goossen who comes out and tells me to come inside and to find a way. He was really mad and pissed off because you got to find a way to remove this writing from the glass, and I was not able to. And ever since, I've been stuck with Joe Goossen, and he's been my teacher and my like my dad figure in the sport of boxing.
For yourself,
That
obviously,
was, that's how I got into boxing.
obviously Joe's a legendary trainer in his own right. He's very well known for being a trainer. For yourself, obviously, you're a great trainer as well.
Oh,
Under
thank you.
guidance. Did you? How long ago, or when did you start boxing? When did you think actually coaching is what I want to do? Was you always inclined to be the teacher role, or was you always looking for that teacher to guide you in a straight and narrow?
Well, you know what, Joe groomed me to be a trainer, but I at that time I wanted to be a fighter because I was around all the fighters, helping out and watching them, and he would put me into spar there with the best fighters that he had, like Gabriel and Rafael Relas. He let me spar Joel Casamayor, Alex Ramos, uh, Diego Corrales, and I turned pro at 27 years old, and it was late, but I just wanted to experience what it felt to be a boxer. Because there's a lot of coaches that don't know the experience or don't know the feeling to be inside that ring. And I think if I didn't manage to turn pro or get the experience, I would have never know what it feels to be in that ring.
So you mentioned at 27, you went into the gym first time at 14. Did you never want to turn pro earlier, or was it the right time for?
Nah, because I was a troublemaker. I was in the streets, and I didn't know what if I really wanted to box. Because even though at that time, years later, I would go and spar, and it hurts. It hurts to get hit. So I was a wishy-washy fighter, trainer, whatever you wanted to call it. Till one day I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I think I could do this because I was giving all the fighters that Joe have good sparring, and I was really good inside the ring as a sparring partner.
What was that like to spar these guys who are, world champions, world level, these great fighters? What was it like to be in there and learn with these guys in the ring?
Well, at that time I didn't think much of it, but now that I'm at the age of 47 now, I look back and say, man, I spar the best fighters, Ben Tacky, uh, Jeremy Williams and Michael Nunn. Even though I was young and smaller weight, but it was a great experience to go in there and let those hands go.
Joe must have saw something in you and your ability to coach to know already at that age that's what you should or that's how your path should go. When did you realize that was your path in life?
I realized that probably was going on 15, 16 years ago. I realized, I think I could do this. I started working with celebrities like jokes helped me start. He would hand out celebrities like Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider to me to start working with them, and I started getting a name called the Celebrity Coach and the Trainer to the Stars. And I said, okay, I think I could do this. Then I started working with young fighters like Ryan Garcia and other fighters, and I got discouraged at one time. And I said, because I was investing so much time, and these kids or fighters were just, I would teach them what I learned from Joe. That took me years to learn the craft, and then they end up leaving me and going with different coaches, and they were very fruitful in what they were doing. And me, I was just like, man, that could have been me. I could have been earning that 10%, and I didn't want nothing to do with boxing, like to train a fighter anymore. So one day I end up flying to London for the first time in my life. I was working with this YouTuber, and at that time, Taz Khan, who's Amir Khan's uncle, reaches out to me, and he goes, "Hey, I know you're in London right now. I have this young kid that is a fighter," and I go, "I'm not interested, Taz. I'm just here working with a celebrity YouTuber." He goes, "Ricky, please come." And I go, "Taz, I really don't want to. I don't want to invest time in fighters, man. It's just a headache." He goes, "You won't regret it, blah, blah, blah." I go, "All right." So he comes, picks me up at the hotel, and we drive to the gym. And a little bit at that time was Hamzah Sheeraz. Hamzah was I think 18 years old. He had just turned pro. And I did mid work with him, and he got tired because I'm a very aggressive trainer. And Taz goes, "Hey, what do you think about it?" Oh, he's good. He's strong. He goes, "Oh man, yeah." He at that time I think Hamzah was 8-0. And Taz goes, "Hey, yeah, we'll give you a call like in 2-3 years." I go, "Yeah, call me, whatever." I didn't pay no mind to it. 3 years later, they call me. They says, "Hey, Ricky, we're ready to go to the States and start working. If you're willing to work with Hamzah," I go, "All right, cool." And we started our bond relationship there.
Is it fair to say that first phone call from Taz changed your career?
Oh, big time. Look, yeah, well, I think we both changed our both our careers because I helped Hamzah and he's helped me fall in love with the sport of boxing again. Because I really didn't. I could have worked with other fighters. I just didn't want to no more. So I think we both help each other to try to groom each other up where we at. I was always under Joe and helping Joe. So Joe was the one that's getting all the recognition, and look, he deserves it. But at one time, I just said, you know what? I'm never gonna be able to build my own fighters if I'm always with Joe. So I had to part ways, and in a sense where I had to make a name for myself. Because if I would be under Joe, I'm under Joe's, pupil, and I need to let my wings fly, I guess, as you could say.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned about coaching celebrities. What was that like? Did you enjoy that?
I love it. I loved it then, and I still train celebrities to this day. That's how I make a living. I train regular celebrities and private clients. That's how I make a living because if I'm waiting to get paid and make money off a fighter, it's going to be really tough. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Right now, Hamzah is getting to the pro stage, which I believe he's going to be the next future of boxing at the 160 pounder to 168. They just made him actually the ambassador for Turkish. I don't know if you heard that. So, so that's I'm happy to still do that as a living, working with celebrities and actors and actresses and just regular clients.
I see. I think the first or the recent picture on your Instagram of a celebrity is Justin Bieber. These are big, big names. Have you ever been starstruck by anybody that you've trained?
Not really. Yeah, you get excited to try to work with a certain celebrity, but starstruck, I don't think so. I think I grew out of that being around Joe with us other celebrities that he has worked with as well. He's worked with Brad Pitt, and I was able to be there at that time when Brad Pitt was one of the biggest movie stars at that time. Adam Sandler going to his studios and train him there. I was able to just like see them as regular people, whoever it may be. And thanks to Floyd Mayweather, I was able to establish a good relationship with Justin Bieber,
Talk,
and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
talk about the competitive nature of training a fighter, and then is there still that competitiveness when you're training celebrities, or is it a completely different, completely different?
It's it's oh, it's way different because working with a fighter, you work on technique and you work on certain combinations that you will need to use depending who the fighter is. Just like I'll give you an example of with ammo. We were working on certain things for ammo, and and each fight that I have worked with Hamzah, every time we worked on something, combinations or how to work on the fight, everything since day one I work with Hamzah, everything that we work on, everything has come into play. And yeah, there's some mistakes that happen, and you have to correct it because once you step up to that stage of fighting now top elite fighters, contenders, and rugged fighters, you are bound to get hit. No matter who it is, no matter how good you are, you're gonna get hit. And after the fight, Joe says, "Hey, you have to let your fighter know that even though he's a good fighter, he's gonna get hit." And look at Canelo. Canelo gets hit,
Yeah,
but it's how you receive it and how you're gonna act to it. Or are you gonna just fold, or are you gonna continue and have that poker face and overcome that hit and progress from there?
absolutely. You mentioned Floyd Mayweather there. He put you in contact with Justin Bieber. Talk about Floyd Mayweather, obviously, one of the greatest fighters ever. Talk about your relationship with Floyd.
I have a great relationship with Floyd. So this is in 2008, I believe 2008. Floyd calls me and he says, "Hey Ricky, you think I could come and work out at the gym?" I go, "Yeah, definitely, no problem." And he goes, "Hey, and one more thing, I have Justin Bieber. He's gonna come. You think you could work with him?" I go, "Yeah, man, definitely." Boom! I get in my car, I head up to the gym, and Justin Bieber pulls up first, then Floyd, and I started working with him. That was the longest 18 rounds in my life I did with a celebrity fighter. I did 18 rounds of mid work, and I don't know where he got that stamina from, but I did 18 rounds with Justin Bieber that day, and that's how I also built a relationship with Floyd. Floyd's been coming to my gym for the past 18 years, and he's the every time he goes to LA, Goose Boxing is the only gym he goes to and works out at. Doesn't matter what time, what it is. That's the gym. He has a few gyms in Los Angeles, and he could go to Freddie Roach's. He could go to any gym he wants, but he chooses Goose Boxing.
Fantastic. I mean, talking about the influence that Floyd has had on boxing and this generation of boxers.
Well, like he says, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest in boxing. He made it. No matter what people say, there's been other fighters in the past that are better than him, but and for me in this generation, Floyd is the best. 50-0. He fought everybody. He didn't duck no one. And going into that gym, to my gym, and seeing him work out, it's like whoever went to see Muhammad Ali work out at the gym and saw him work out, do push-ups, do jump roping, shadow boxing, sparring. In my time, I was able to witness Floyd Mayweather spar. I was able to work his corner in my gym when he was sparring. It was just, to me, it was an honor and a privilege and big influence in my life, because there are little things that he has used in his career that I'm able to use and advise my fighters to use it. And if it doesn't work, then we have another game plan. Remember this, everybody wants to fight like Floyd Mayweather now. They want to drop their left hand and they want to do the Philly shuffle, roll the shoulders. Not everybody could do what Floyd does. They try it, they fail, but Floyd has done it badass. Just like James Toney. James Toney is one of them that I could say has done it right, and I was able to work with James Toney as well.
Fantastic. And just finally, I want to speak about your relationship with Joe Goossen, probably biggest influence on your career. Um, just try and sum up what Joe Goossen means to you.
Joe is like, Joe is like my father. I give all the credit to him because he's the one who raised me and into this sport of boxing, taught me what I know. Uh, I give my hats off to him. He's been like my dad in the sport of boxing.
Fantastic. Well, Ricky, I'll leave it there. I want to thank you very much for your time. Appreciate your time whilst you're driving there down to Vegas. Have a good time. And thank you again.